following is an exclusive presentation of Ravens Productions.
This week on Ravens Report, we sit down with quarterback Joe Flacco as the offense looks to rebound after the tough game against Cleveland. Plus, John Harbaugh previews Sunday's game against the Titans. All of that and more coming up on this week's Ravens Report. Hey everyone, welcome to Ravens Report from the Under Armour Performance Center. I'm Erin Hawksworth. After a tough loss to Cleveland last week, the Ravens are back on the road again, this time to face the Titans. Now, both teams sit at 3-2 and are hoping to rebound after tough Week 5 losses. The good news is the Ravens boast the #1 scoring defense in the league, allowing less than 15.5 points per game. But Baltimore will need the offense to bounce back after last week's performance in Cleveland. Quarterback Joe Flacco needs to lead the way, and he'll have to do it against former defensive coordinator Dean Pease, who now holds that same job for the Titans. Evan Washburn caught up with Joe as the Ravens get ready for a trip to Tennessee.
Flacco throws complete. Willie Snead to the 5, to the 2, to the 1. Touchdown, Ravens! A beautiful throw.
Hey, Joe, good throw, man.
What a throw and catch from Flacco to Andrews.
Well, Joe, thanks for doing this. So after a game like Cleveland, what's the lesson or takeaway you guys have as an offense that's important to take into this week against Tennessee, you think?
We got to find ways to, push the ball down the field, obviously. But, if they're going to take it away, we just got to be a little bit more sharp and consistent in what we're doing underneath and consistently beating man coverage and those things. So I think if we can do that, be a little bit more consistent underneath, beat the man coverage, then we can take our chances here and there and really explode.
On the field this year, this offense at times has really looked dynamic. As you've been able now, with a decent sample size, view things, what do you feel like has been most important about what this group's been able to do when it plays well?
Well, I think the biggest thing right now is our offensive line. Those 5 guys up front are playing really solid football, and they're laying the foundation for everybody else to go out there and just play and do what they love and make plays. I think even this past week, I think it's really been the first time throughout the course of a full game that we haven't been able to go out there and do some of those dynamic things. But I think those guys played really well against a really good front. And I think if they can continue to do that, we have so many guys that can make plays in different ways. And if we continue to just allow them to go and be themselves, then it's going to be huge for us.
He's got a man there, and it is caught. John Brown, touchdown Ravens. A perfect throw, and John Brown was pulling away.
You mentioned the weapons are immense, but we continue to see John Brown pop each week. What has been probably most critical in that quick development and cohesion that you guys clearly have?
I think a lot of credit just goes to him. You can see how he works, how many balls he catches every day. Besides the work ethic and all that stuff, is really just his ability coming through and the way he can run routes so smoothly, his ball skills, his speed, the way he tracks the ball and the way he catches the ball because of the way he works on it is very impressive.
One of the things I've really enjoyed the last few years is getting to see your personality come out. Everybody always said it was always there, and I think it was smart on your part to be prudent about how vocal you were early, especially with the team that you had, with the personalities that you had, and we all know those names. But how rewarding for you has it been and enjoyable to be able to show some of that and have people respond to it in a positive way?
Yeah, I just think it's one of those things where people, they want to judge you right from the very get-go, and obviously that's the case with us. You're an NFL football player. People see you every day. They think they know you. And it's hard not to see that, especially when you watch a game. I don't really watch the games, but when you do watch the games, the quarterback's face is up there so much.
We showed a lot.
It's a lot, I really don't think I've changed that much, and I don't think my personality has changed. I'm really the same person. From now till my rookie year, yeah, difference. When you come in the locker room and your main concentration, your main focus when you first get somewhere is proving to everybody on the team that you can play football. And that was really what I wanted to do. All the other stuff doesn't really matter.
I want to talk family for a second here. Your group, the starting 5 at this point, how much has that really changed your perspective on life in football and maybe helped put all this in perspective in a positive way.
Yeah, well, before you have a family, you know, in the way that I do now, you know, football is really, it's number one. It's what all my concentrations, what all my hard work, everything goes into, you know, being good at my profession and being an accountable teammate. And then you have kids, and you know, responsibilities change, and you know, you can put yourself in a different role, and I think it teaches you a lot about leadership and good and bad ways to go about things.
When I was thinking about this, it struck me that this is year 11 for you. Mm-hmm. I know you're in the moment right now, but do you ever think, has the time gone by fast, or because of what you've been through, both good and bad, that this has felt like 11 years?
No, it definitely, overall, it does not feel like it's been that long. You know, it gets on top of you quick.
Flacco from the gun, blitz pressure, lobs it, end zone, touchdown!
You know, I remember transferring to Delaware and just thinking, okay, I just got to get to the point where maybe somebody will think of getting me late or be a free agent or something like that. I just wanted a chance to be an NFL, you know, football player. But then, you know, really, since I've been in the league, there's times where, you know, everything's feeling a little bit longer and you're in the moment and all that. You know, I'm in year 11 and there's still a lot of things that I haven't done that I want to go out there and do, and that keep me hungry and motivated to do it.
Joe, it's been fun to watch the ride since Newark, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.
Still to come on Ravens Report, the head coach breaks down Sunday's AFC matchup against the Titans.
My name's Kevin Spencer. This is my son, Matt.
And we've been PSL owners since day one. We never miss a game.
We've been coming to the game for a very long time, to where we know everyone around us. Day one, we didn't know anyone. Today, we're the best of friends.
You know, no matter what's going on around us, we know on Sunday we're here with our friends, rooting on our favorite team.
It's a great town. It's a great city. It's a great team.
Our seats, our city, our team. Go Ravens!
On Monday, the Ravens hosted the 12th annual A Purple Evening. Almost 3,000 female Ravens fans flocked to M&T Bank Stadium for a night of fun, games, and autographs. 22 Ravens players attended the event, including Justin Tucker, C.J. Mosley, and Tony Jefferson. Welcome back to Ravens Report. Terrell Suggs seems to have found the fountain of youth. T-Sizzle recorded his 129th career sack against the Browns last week, which put him 15th on the all-time list. Suggs and the rest of the defense have been lights out this season and are the only team that ranks in the top 5 against the run and the pass. And there's more. This Ravens defense still hasn't given up a second-half touchdown. It's safe to say that unit has been as good as advertised. As Garrett Downing discovered, John Harbaugh is confident his squad will put the overtime loss to the Browns behind them as they focus on the Titans.
We need to do better. You know, we threw for some yards, but there's a lot more left out there if we'd have executed better and had some better stuff. So that's something we have to do a better job of, I think. Everybody would agree with that.
Coach, thank you very much for the time. This week you head to Tennessee. It's your 3rd straight game on the road. As much as you're able to, take us inside the meeting room for what your message has been to the team.
Well, it's not a complicated message. You know, we stay positive and we go to work. If things happen just a little bit differently, one play here, one play there, we win the game and we have a whole different feeling about what happened. But at the end of the day, you're still the same group that you would have been whether you lost the game or won the game. You still have the same things to work on, the same things to improve. If we'd won the game, all the things that weren't good in the game, we would need to go to work on. So it doesn't change anything, whether it's triumph or whether it's disaster, which is a loss. You still treat those two situations exactly the same. And that's what we need to do. We need to go to work and become the best football team we can be. So it starts at the individual level, then it goes to the position level, then the phase level, offense, defense, special teams, and as a team. These are all the things that we need to work on specifically to be as good as we can be next Sunday, be better than we were last Sunday, and try to win this next game.
Now, a big storyline from the media perspective this week is obviously going up against Dean Pease, the defensive coordinator there. He coached here for several years, and people may not know, but he coached you in college. So what would Dean Pease say about John Harbaugh, the player?
Great player, great guy, phenomenal. He'd probably bite his tongue if he said that. But, no, it's just going to be, it's good. it's positive. You know, a lot is made out of stuff like that, and I think it's kind of fun. But it really won't mean much. I mean, Dean won't be out there playing. I mean, if I was lining up over Dean, in all honesty, I think I'd have a chance to cover him probably. Right. You know, he was a receiver, but, you know, at this stage at least. So, you know, that wouldn't be fun to watch. You know, it's the players. It's the players that play the game. It's the players that make the plays. And that's what the game is always about. It's always been about that, and it always will be about that. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. You know, talking to Dean before the game will be fun for a minute or two, but we'll both have the same thing in mind. We'll be concerned about the way our players play the game.
One of the players who we all had a lot of eyes on last week was Hayden Hurst. The rookie first-round pick makes his debut. What's kind of the key for him to get going and carve out his role in this offense as he just gets more familiar with playing at the NFL level?
Well, that's probably what it is. You know, as far as the work and knowledge of the offense and all the things that he does everything he can do to be as good a player as he can be. Very, very into it. You know, conscientious, wants to do well. You get out there and play for the first game ever. It's new. It's a new situation for him. So he did well. But he can do so much better, and he will do so much better just because now he's been out there and he keeps building on the previous, you know, performance.
Right. After the game, Michael Crabtree said, "I'm getting back in the lab. I need to go to work." And he's done that this week, and he's not the only guy with that mentality. All these veteran players have talked about putting in extra time and putting in the work. What have you seen from these guys, and what does it mean about these players that they're willing to go out there, spend the extra time on the practice field, in the classroom, in order to get ready for Sunday's game?
Well, yeah, that's the expectation. That's what he's saying. It's not any big thing. I mean, that's what we're always in the lab, you know. We're always going to work. You're always trying to be the best you can be, and to me, that's what he's talking about. You know, you get right back in the lab, you get right back on the practice field, weight room, meeting room, jugs machine, whatever it might be for your position, and you go back to work. You know, you don't lament it. Yeah, it stings, it hurts. Every time you think about it, it bothers you because nobody wants to lose a football game. You know, you have an opportunity and then it's lost. You got to make it up now. You got to go win more games in the future than you would have had to. So you go back to work. And to me, the fact that he feels that way and all of our players look at it that way, that's exactly what I would expect.
I'll let you add here on this one. Joe Flacco has talked about the offensive line this week and really praised them just for the way that they're protecting him through these first 5 games. How impressed have you been with this group? Obviously, the offensive line, there's always questions when you go into a season, how they're going to play and how they're going to gel. Just what have your impressions of the group been?
They're doing well, but like they'll tell you, they're a work in progress. There's so many things that they want to continue to improve on, but that's the thing. I think a hallmark of this particular group of guys has been that fact that they steadily improve and get better because they put the work in. Got a great leader in Marshall, a great bunch of young guys that really are motivated, dedicated, that really want to be good players. And as a coach, that's all you can ask for and expect them to play at a very high level.
Hey, Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck Sunday in Tennessee.
Thanks, Garrett.
Still to come on Ravens Report. The Ravens will try to learn as much as they can from last week's loss to Cleveland as they prepare for Sunday's game in Tennessee. We travel back to the coast of Lake Erie next.
In every season, there's pain. It shapes us. It makes us who we are. With each new day, with each new game, with each win, with each loss, we're building this team together. And everything we want is still ours for the taking. Now, an old rivalry renews. Thousands hoping to revel in our pain. But we remember what that pain feels like. And it makes the other feeling that much sweeter.
Welcome back to Ravens Report. I'm Erin Hawksworth. Over the years, the Ravens have learned that in the AFC North, there are no easy games. That's exactly what we saw last week in Cleveland. That was a tough, ugly, back-and-forth contest, and unfortunately, the Ravens came up short. Before we turn all of our attention to Tennessee, let's travel back to the shores of Lake Erie as the Ravens look to take the next step against an AFC North rival.
Hey, we've been talking all week, right? Emotional high, emotional win last week. Good teams take the next step, especially us as a secondary. This team goes as we go, right? Just go out there and focus on your job, your responsibility. Do your job and protect each other. And we'll go out and get this win.
First Energy Stadium, Cleveland, Ohio. A gray, misty, overcast day. Temperatures 68 degrees. No real wind to speak of. It's never easy when the Ravens come to Cleveland, and today is certainly no different. looking right, now he fires across the middle. It is intercepted, picked off at the 33-yard line, and coming down with the ball is Tavon Young, the rookie quarterback, with a rookie mistake, and the Ravens will take over on the turnover.
That's how you start fast. Keep working every drive, boys.
Tucker with a kick. It is long enough, and it is good right down the middle. The Ravens strike first and lead it 3-0. This has such the look of a typical Ravens-Browns game. It's an ugly day. It's been a game where the Ravens have had opportunities. They haven't cashed in, and the Browns are hanging around. Allen alone in the backfield. Flacco on the play fake. Rolls to the right. His pass is tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 5-yard line. Flacco's pass was deflected by Emmanuel Ogbah and intercepted by the rookie Denzel Ward.
You're fine. I was just a vacancy. Yeah, it was a vacancy right there. I was going to run out of it. I was just like throwing it at your knees, you know?
Right back at him. Let's go.
It's still our ball game. Let them know. Hey, O-line! It's still our ball game. Keep fire clean, baby.
There has been nothing pretty about the weather. There has been nothing pretty about the game. But you've got to love the drama of an NFL division game that comes down to fingernail biting time. Mayfield, pocket collapsing. He's spun down with a sack. Brandon Williams with a penetration, and the Ravens defense opens with a statement. Play action, deep drop, steps up, pocket collapsing, and he is sacked at the 18-yard line. Terrell Suggs.
We had our chances, and in these kind of games, when you have little chances, you have to be able to take advantage of them. And the couple that we had, we probably just didn't execute well enough on.
Time has expired in regulation, and we are heading to overtime.
A block in the back.
Oh, that's a terrible call. Chris Moore was falling to the ground and went out of his way to avoid contact with the defensive back. Looking to throw. Now he fires to a wide open receiver on the far sideline. 20, 30. Snap is good. Kick is on the way. It's a block kick, and it's through the uprights. The Ravens got a hand on the ball. It knuckled forward and trickles through the uprights for the win.
It's a 16-game season. I don't think every game is going to be perfect, and I don't think we expect every game to be perfect, but I think it comes down to situational football like today, and it's all about finishing and making those plays when they matter. I don't think it's going to mess with our confidence at all or mess with our mojo. I still think we didn't finish, and we've been trying. We've been doing a good job at that, I believe, so far this season, and today we fell short of doing that. We weren't good enough, so like I said, we got to get back in the lab and fix those mistakes.
Coming up on Ravens Report, this season, defensive back Anthony Levine Sr. has made a big impact on defense and special teams, but he's also committed to making a difference off the field. What I believe with Anthony Levine Sr. is next. Single game tickets are now on sale. Reserve your tickets now for the Ravens 2018 season, including next week's home game against the New Orleans Saints. Get your tickets today at 410-261-RAVE or BaltimoreRavens.com/tickets. Welcome back to Ravens Report. On the field, Anthony Levine Sr. has played a big role for the Ravens defense. The 7-year veteran helped seal the victory in Pittsburgh and nearly intercepted Baker Mayfield in overtime last week. Off the field, Anthony devotes his time to a cause that's near and dear to his heart. He helps high school students prepare for the SATs and works to make sure kids are better prepared for the future.
I'm Anthony Levine Sr., aka Co-Cap. This is my 7th year with the Ravens. I'm from Abbeville, Louisiana. I went to Tennessee State University. So I'm from Abbeville, Louisiana. I spent most of my childhood there, from preschool all the way up to high school. And I had a learning disability. It takes me more time to read test questions, So I had to go to a different class when it was test day, and take my time and to read over. And I get picked on, but that was a way for me to learn. I had to do that. This is kind of really my first time really coming out about talking about my learning disability, because I never wanted anyone to know about it. But now I'm older, I know there's kids out there that's probably suffering from the same thing that I was, and honestly, I still struggle with to this day. So I want to get out there, and I want to help kids prepare and not discourage, because I was discouraged taking the SAT. So right now, I'm in the transition of starting the SAT program for Merville High School. So I want to go out and I want to reach kids. Now I want them to be encouraged and not be discouraged and to give up on their dreams of their aspirations of going to college. I've been blessed with a great opportunity, and I want kids and everyone to understand that it's hard work that I put in to be in the situation that I'm in, but I also want to use this platform to show them that it's possible. Whether you're an NFL player, or you're a firefighter, or you're a doctor, or you're a nurse, but you can always be something. You can always be successful in life no matter what you do, as long as you dream big and you work for it and you work hard. I'm Anthony Levine Sr., and this is what I believe.
If the Ravens want to make the playoffs this season, they have to learn from a loss like last week's defeat to the Browns. This week, Baltimore faces another AFC foe, and it won't be easy. At 3-2, the Titans shouldn't be overlooked. Former defensive coordinator Dean Pease and his Titans defense will be ready. Come December, Tennessee will likely be one of the teams fighting for a playoff spot, so Sunday's game has extra importance. Enjoy the game. We'll see you next week on Ravens Report.
Thank you.